This video is brought to you by RapidX and their brand new Prismo Wireless Charger. If you guys are looking for the apex predator of the fitness tracking smartwatch world, the Amazfit T-Rex Pro is it. This guy is not only rugged, it's feature-packed, and with a name like T-Rex, I mean, come on.
Say again. We have a T-Rex.
Now for my testing, I kind of stepped away from my normal black watch scenario, and I went with one of their more recent colors, which is the desert gray, which I really like. Now to list off some of my favorite things about the T-Rex Pro, you've got number 1, 4 buttons for navigation, including up and down buttons, making it easier to navigate the scrolling screens. Number 2, you got two-tone strap that's super comfortable. The material they chose is softer than you might expect and feels pretty darn good, even when you wear it 24/7 like I do. Number 3, the appearance is rugged, but it doesn't look overly so to the point of being gimmicky. And number 4, even though it looks tough and packs a ton of tech, it doesn't feel clunky and overly heavy. It's actually a very comfortable watch to wear on a regular basis. So again, they've done a really good job there. Now the Amazfit T-Rex Pro has an HD AMOLED always-on color screen, which is really nice because this thing is super responsive, but I like the fact that if you find the right combination of theme and color of watch, you can make this a really neat looking device that doesn't look like a smartwatch, that looks like more like a traditional watch like I did here. Now, when it comes to GPS, the T-Rex Pro has 4 different satellite GPS systems, and it does a great job of tracking your data. It's very, very accurate and precise. And it also has an emergency weather alert system built in, so you also get notifications in your area when that happens. Now, when it comes to water resistancy, we got 10 ATM water resistance rating. Now, what is great about that is that it puts it into a position for any type of water related activities that you would do on a regular basis, right? So deep diving, still kind of stay away from that. But if you're a surfer, a swimmer, boogie boarder, you're diving at reasonable depths, swimming in your pool in the backyard, things like that, you're gonna be good to go. This guy is definitely capable of handling that. I would say even so far as going to, some mid-range depth, sea cave diving, you'd probably be able to do that. Now, I did not test that, so don't hold me to it, but if you do test that, specifically the cave thing, let me know in the comment section below because I'm super curious. I got a lot of questions for you. Now you also get 100 sport mode detection. So this guy is gonna be able to cover just about anything in the sports realm you could possibly wanna do. And I tested distance, steps, distance. I did ride my bike. So I tested some of them, not 100 of them, but it did a really good job, let's put it that way. Now, as you should expect with most smartwatches, this guy pairs up to the Zepp app, which goes on Android or iOS, and is gonna allow you to get all your notifications for emails, text messages, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. You kind of can control what messages come through and when. There's silent mode times you can turn on, so if you're in bed, you can turn off those notifications, especially if you sleep with it. You can do silent alarms, you can do all sorts of great stuff. So the functionality of a smartwatch is definitely here. Now, one thing I will mention is that yes, you can receive notifications of all of those messages. This isn't a full-blown smartwatch like Wear OS or iOS or Apple OS or whatever, Apple Watch OS, I don't know what they call it. But you can't reply to messages on here, right? There's no microphones, there's no answering phone calls on here. You can notify, it'll notify everything. You'll get all the notifications, but outside of that, you're gonna have to go back to your phone to manage that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at this potentially being your main smartwatch. You don't wanna pair this up against directly feature for feature when you're looking at a full smartwatch, so just keep that in mind. So now, battery life. Battery life is where this thing excels pretty darn well. If you're an average user like I am, for example, right, you're not leaning heavily into the sports modes, you're looking at about 18 full days of battery life. Now, I have tested a good chunk of the battery, did some mathematical equations, and I'm on track to be reaching almost 20 days of battery life, which is great. So it does definitely have solid battery life. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is if you are somebody who uses those activity trackers quite a bit, 9 days, somewhere in that realm is gonna be what you're gonna be experiencing if you're an everyday runner or work out at the gym and you're tracking using the specific tracking modes. And now there is one more level. If you end up getting lost and you wanna use that GPS, all the GPSs just really, really heavily to get really good detailed information, you're looking at about 40 hours total of usage with full GPS mode turned on. So battery life, in my opinion, has been great, especially in comparison to some other watches in its size class. It did a great job. Once again, the tuning here is really, really well done. And again, with a battery in here that can last 18 days, it still doesn't feel heavy, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, when it comes to charging the Amazfit T-Rex Pro, you guys always ask about the watches. This is not a wireless charging device. You can't put this on a wireless charging pad and charge it. It does come with a proprietary magnetic charger in the box, which is also compatible with the GTR2E or the BIPU Pro. If you're using any of those watches already, you already have the cable that you need, but it does come with one in the box. But again, unfortunately, no wireless charging. I am a huge wireless charging fan. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. I have one on here on my studio desk. I have one on my work desk. I got them on my end tables. My wife's got one. I use power banks that have wireless chargers. I love wireless charging. If you've seen the channel at all, you should know this by now. So today I want to show you guys the RapidX Prismo Wireless Charger. Now this guy is a 10-watt wireless charger. Looks very much like a standard wireless charger up front, right? We've got the charging pad up here on top. You got a rubberized kind of no slip grip to make sure your phone stays securely on the charger, even if it's vibrating because people are blowing up your phone. On the back here, you do have a silicone rubber ring here to keep this guy also on your desk where it's supposed to be. So what's so special about it, you might say? Well, that's where we kick this guy into overdrive because it is full RGB. So if you want this for your gaming desk, wherever you want a freaking cool looking wireless charger, the Prismo is the one you're looking for. You've got multiple modes. You can specify which color you want it. You can have it go through a rainbow mode. It's a really slick looking wireless charger. One of the best looking wireless chargers I've used. And now I've tested this so far on my phone. I got multiple earbuds that have wireless charging and it works great. So again, guys, the Prismo Wireless Charger by RapidX is definitely one you should check out. As usual, like all the products I do in my videos, I put a link in the description below, so make sure you check it out. So how did it end up doing as far as all of its tracking capabilities? Well, I will say it did a great job. Definitely doing GPS tracking was awesome. So it actually knew when I left the bedroom to go to the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. It tracked really, really well when I was on my walks, when I was on my bike rides. It did a great job. So I was very happy with that. Everything I found with calorie burn, heart rate monitoring, stress monitoring, all that kind of stuff seemed pretty spot on. I didn't have any variations from that compared to any of the other watches that I had. It seemed to perform just as well, which was awesome. On top of that, sleep tracking. It did a really good job with sleep tracking. I feel like it was just on par with all the other Amazfit products, and like Withings, I've done a review on Withings products, which is very, very good at sleep tracking, and I didn't notice much discrepancy when wearing both of them during testing. So it did a great job. It really does everything that it's supposed to do, and Amazfit's done a great job kind of tuning it in the ways to really get as much data as you possibly can for those various things. So on the tracking side of things, I would say if you're looking for something that is very accurate and does a great job, the Amazfit T-Rex Pro, once again, does a great job there. Now that you've tracked the data, putting it into the Zepp app, I think, is one of the better tracking apps that I've seen in comparison to on a lot of these watches, right? They do a great job of taking that data and making it very easy to navigate, very easy to understand. They break down kind of what everything is, and they just do a really good job of portraying the information. The app is great. It allows you to do a lot of customizations of the watch faces. It gives you access to all the watch faces in the market is in the app there. So there's a lot to it. So you definitely, if you're gonna get this watch, make sure that you install the Zepp app on either iOS or Android. It's critical that you have it with this watch, not just for tracking, but if you wanna just control the watch, you wanna check its battery life on your phone, there's just a lot of functionality that goes along with it, and it's a great app, so definitely check it out. Now, before we move on to talking about just my overall wrap up on this guy, I want to mention one last feature that I have been really using quite a bit. My wife goes to bed earlier than I do. I stumble around the house a lot in the dark. And so for me, having a flashlight is critical. And because the watch face on the T-Rex Pro is so bright and so clear, their watch feature, their flashlight feature on the watch, being able to turn it into a flashlight and kind of look around, is actually really, really well done. It casts a really good amount of light in a space. And because the sides are a little bit raised, it actually has more of a beam. So as opposed to just lighting up a whole space and waking my wife up potentially, I can actually kind of angle it and keep the light where I need it to. It's really a cool feature. So super small feature, almost non-existent in people's minds, but I like it, so I wanted to share that with you as well. Now, at the time of making this video, the Amazfit T-Rex Pro is $179.99 US. Okay, that is a premium price point for a fitness tracking smartwatch. So is it worth it? Well, I would say so, especially if you look at it from the perspective that this guy is fearless in water and on land. The T-Rex Pro eats most of its competitors when it comes to features. It crushes them in durability department, and this is not a petite, discreet watch, right? This thing looks military spec. It's a bit on the larger side, but it's a style that people want, that they're looking for, and it looks great. So if you're looking for something not to just hide under your sleeve and be kind of inconspicuous, if you're looking for something that looks nice, that looks heavy duty, that also factors in all of that tracking data and its ability and its toughness, the T-Rex Pro is definitely something you should be checking out if you're looking for a premium quality fitness tracking watch. But guys, as usual, I'm curious to hear what you think. Do you think the T-Rex Pro is worth 180 bucks? If you do, let me know down in the comment section below. If you don't, let me know down in the comment section below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up down there. I try to reply to as many comments as I possibly can. But guys, as usual, that is it for me, and I will see you in the next review.